attend here and having discussion with us. Um, okay, today we will discuss about determining the relevance of meaning of loving Indonesia between constitutional identity and constitutional pluralism. Okay, okay. Let me introduce myself first. Um, okay, my name is Muhammad Rizal Sirojuddin. I'm a law student. I'm come from Tulungagung, East Java, and my university is Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, Yogyakarta. Okay, before we enter to the main discussion, I would like to ask to you all, what is love Indonesia and why should we love Indonesia? Okay. Maybe anyone who wanna respond this, please? Maybe Mrs. Ade, Mr. Ade.
Hello, Mr. Rizal. You can see on the participants, there is one person raise her hand. You can choose them.
Okay. Mrs. Puji Wahyu Mustiawati. Isn't it?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Time is yours.
Okay, the question is, what is love Indonesia and why should we love Indonesia? It's like you are asking, what is love for mother and why should we love mother? I will answer the second question firstly. Why should we love Indonesian? Because we are the part of Indonesia. It's like we love ourselves. And I already answered the first questions also. What is love Indonesia? It's like love yourself because you are part of the Indonesia. Without you, Indonesian will never exist. Because as you know, the populations, the folks, the citizens is needed before a country built as a country. And we are part of that. We are part of Indonesia. That is why we must be loved. And we already take many benefits from Indonesia.
Wow.
Now I am be a girl like now. I am be a girl like myself because I was born in Indonesia as an Asian country, a country that teach me many very of cultures, many loves. You read how to say that, respect each other, polite, and I guess all of us Indonesians people respect about relations of relatives. When you are come to another part, they will say, "Oh, we are family." I really love that. That is why I love Indonesia. I love myself. Thank you.
Okay, good point from Mrs. Puji Wahyu Setiawati. Love Indonesia is like love to ourselves, right? So we have to love to myself, to ourselves. It's undeniable because if you do not uh, um, love to yourself, it's it's weird. Okay, anybody want to talk? Ahmad Akbar, time is yours. Okay, Berlin, you wanna talk?
Yes, I want to
Okay,
talk. Could
time
I?
is yours. Time is yours.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Uh, Rizal
Rizal.
Sirojudin, for this time. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, honestly, I don't have any imagination or perhaps any firm definition about what is love. Is it similar with the terminology of likes? So when we like something, so we will love something. Are both of those terminologies are same or not is quite questionable in my mind, because love is the terminology that is more than likes. When we like something, yes, we just like something without any reason, maybe because it's kind of a puppy love, or maybe what seems like a time-able uh, thing, or not thing, activities that is likes. But when we love something, it's gonna be like the terminology that we have it, that we like it, that we like it, and we because we have it, so we feel that they what we are united to them. So it's gonna be like the terminology of love that I think in this recent time that's gonna be changed based on the time that I flow in the whole of my life. So what is love to Indonesia? It's gonna be like that, the feeling of united, to feel that we have this nation, we have the heart of this nation, we can feel the nation, even though sometimes uh, seems like the decision of our nation makes us die. We will like it because we are not united to this nation. That's the terminology of love that popped up in my mind recently. And why we feel it? Because we are part of it. We are united in it, unified in it. I mean, because we love Indonesia. We are Indonesia, and Indonesia is us. Seems like that. Because of that terminology, I said that love similar with unification of both existency to be one. That is love. Thank you.
Okay, good opinion for me. It's like a philosophical answer, because it's break down the meaning of love first, and then answer the why we should love Indonesia. That's good point for me. Okay, any other argumentation? Oh, Mr. Ahmad Albar. Okay,
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry because my connection is very bad, but
no
perhaps I
problem.
will try to, okay, I will try to explain with my own perspective about what is love Indonesia for me itself. For me, if I have to say about love of Indonesia itself, it's a desire to make our country, to a desire to make Indonesia to be the better of, I mean, become the best person of itself, of Indonesia. And so the main point is a desire to make it the best version of itself. And why should we love Indonesia? I agree with the first statement that it's our obligation. It's like a, why should we ask uh, about this question? I mean, every person or every dwellers in Indonesia have to love Indonesia without any reason. It's like why you love your mother and why you love your God. Perhaps it's same for me. So it's our obligation. I think it's enough.
Okay, that's good opinion as well. It's like the first opinion that it's love to Indonesia is like love to ourselves, and it's obligation to us to love ourselves. Okay, that's good point. Okay, Miss Sunshine. Okay, you'll take four.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear my voice?
Oh, clearly, clearly.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I disagree with what has been said by Albert before. He talked to us that we should love Indonesia. It's a part of obligations. And he actually he's in line with what has been said by Mr. Berlin. But probably the question is like, why should we not hate Indonesia? I mean, like, should we hate Indonesia instead? Because in my perspective, we just couldn't correlate or similarize the quantity and the quality of love given by our mother to us and the nations given to us. It would be different portions of love, I suppose. So I can say that knowing there is a disparity, or how they say, it's like there is a huge gap distinguishing the types of love given by the two subjects. I would say that it is not an obligation to love our own country. It's like an option instead. Why I say so? Because let's try to reflect and stay back for a while. Let's try to look at a bigger picture and what has been given by our country to us. Okay, even to exist, to be existed in this world is due to the existence of our parents, regardless of their places. Our parents can be in Indonesia or in any other countries. Okay, but it just happened to be in Indonesia, and what Indonesia has given to our parents. Okay, yeah. Sometimes we only consider the nation is only a place, a location, no more than that. Okay. I'm not trying to say that I'm not that nationalist, but I'm just trying to put and fit properly, how to say, cost and benefit perspective. Okay. So I'd say that to love Indonesia as a country, as our nation, is an option. It's not an obligation, I suppose. Because when you put it obligations, I would also dare you, those who say that loving Indonesia is obligation, please show me just how you express your love, just how you contribute, just how you make a real evidences of your loving to Indonesia. Okay. So I guess when I say that loving Indonesia is an option, I can go away from this concept of obligation to show you the evidence that I love Indonesia, because I don't say it is a must for me to love Indonesia. Okay. So yeah, love Indonesia means you don't love any other countries, or you love Indonesia just like you love any other girls or any other boys. You love it from your internal or sexual or external desire, and what kinds of love preferences that you see are coming from Indonesia for you. Okay, because love is about take and give. No, I mean like two-way communication. You must feel certain or significant portions of affections given by your partners to you. Or if it is cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan, okay, please find some terms about this. One-sided love, yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably, yeah. Is loving Indonesia can to love Indonesia be regarded or be identified as one-sided love? Okay, do you feel that the love you give toward Indonesia bounce back to you? Okay, what Indonesia contributes you so far? Yeah, it was only filled. Indonesia has been filled with some problems, political polemics, yeah, unfinished, and even increased unemployment and poverty rate, inequality in terms of health and education access. What else? Yeah. So Indonesia only contribute to make you get dizzier, confused due to the unceasingly or unceased type of problems coming over and over. Is that how Indonesia love you guys? Okay, to make to complicate your life. Is that you love that you pursue from loving Indonesia? Okay, that's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, good point from Mr. Sunshine. Wow, wow, Mr. Sunshine vs everybody. Yeah, Mr. Sunshine use cost and benefit analysis to define love Indonesia. It's great idea, I think. But and he also share to the previous opinion what what Indonesian give to you, because love is significant and you have it's like conversation, like that's good. It's great opinion from me. Any other opinion? Oh, Mr. Sign want to give opinion again. Okay, no problem. Oh, Mrs. Puji.
Okay.
Okay, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Brother Rizal. I just want to ask Mr. Who is name? Mr. Siapa tadi yang?
Sunshine.
Yeah, because he said, what Indonesians give for you. I think is it opposite questions. What you have given to Indonesia. Indonesia give you many places here. You are live here, and your parents here, and you meet kind people. Maybe some of them is not kind, but honestly, I know all of us here and all of my friends, all of my relatives is fine. So I just want to ask you, if you are asking what Indonesians give for you, I think it's opposite questions. What have you given to Indonesia? If you cannot say that, it means you didn't find out the love of Indonesia. Is it based? Thank you.
Good opinion. And Mr. Sunshine, you dare Mrs. Puji wanna dare you to answer this question? Time is yours, Mr. Sunshine.
Okay, I just want to confirm before starting to reply the question. So the question related to what did I do to show my love to Indonesia? Is that correct? What have I been doing to prove my love for Indonesia? Is that correct, Mr. Rizal? Or what, Ms. Puji? What is the question? Is that
because you said before, it's like what is that? Unrequired love. If you are if you are love Indonesian and Indonesian didn't love you, so I give the opposite questions for you. If you how to say this one, Indonesians love you and give you everything here in our place, and your side is it the unrequired love. So I just want to ask you, what have you given to Indonesia? Because Indonesians love you, so it will not be unrequired love if you are give something back.
I got your point. I got your point. Thank you, Ms. Puji. So, you said to me in the very first layer of your argument, you said like, Indonesia has given everything to you. Can you mention this everything to me? Okay, because Mr. Albert, I believe he failed to mention every single detail. Okay, the indicators, because he wants to similarize the love given by our mother or father with the love given by our country, love given by Indonesia. It would be a different parameter. It's not apple to apple. Yeah, if I need to quote the the statement of Miss Sophie. It's not apple to apple case. Okay, if you ask me, if you told me that Indonesia give you everything, what kinds of everything? It's only a place. Okay, it's just a place. If I was born in America, I would be there. Okay, it's just like, even in regard to the place, it's not free. I need to pay tax. Okay, even if I live in the dorm, I need to pay for the dorm. It is not free. Okay, so there must be some cost that I need to think monthly, how to survive daily. Okay, so your case will only stand if you can prove me that I can live here for free. Okay, and you need to also explain me in more detail about what kinds of everything Indonesia has given me. Okay, even my freedom as a part of community, as a part of citizen, is being limited by our nation or by our government. Maybe. Okay. Do you feel that there is a huge portions of injustice that have been upheld in this society? Okay, due to the inability of our governments in handling cases related to the welfare, social welfare, political polemics and stuff. Okay, so only after explaining the questions I give to you, I will have then an obligation to respond your question. Okay, that's for me. Thank you.
Okay. I don't wanna disrupt your argumentation, so I just want to throw the discussion and giving to then another member here, Mr. Berlin. Time is yours.
Yes, thank you. Um, I suppose that there is no any force for love something. So because of this consideration, for some people can love something, and for the other people cannot love something. Because when we love something, it could refers that they likes or maybe they feel unified to something without any reason. Because without any reason, they can love uh, something without any reason. So oppositely, they can hate something without any reason to. That is not love. So I suppose that it's quite freedom and liberty here to love something or not. It's similar with this with the statement by Mr. Sunshine that there is no, obligation to love a nation because love is not something that we need to force to love it. It's quite silly maybe for me when I'm forced to love someone. Oh my God, why I need to do that? So because of this consideration, uh, we need to see the context itself. Maybe for some people, they hate every nation in this earth, maybe because they love Mars, because Mars can provide dreams, maybe seems like that. So there is no any obligation to love something by force, but because love itself is a voluntary action. That is not a forced action. That is exists in my opinion in this recent time. Thank you.
Okay, good opinion. I heard before Mr. Berlin is also mentioned that love Indonesia is also obligation, but this is maybe clarification. Okay. Any other opinion maybe? Okay, Mr. Suci, baik. Okay, Mrs. Suci, you wanna talk?
Okay, hi.
Time is
Thank
yours.
you. Thank you, Mr. Rizal. So, yes, like what Mr. Berlin said that maybe most of people still can't define what love is. So that is why we have a lot of different opinions about love. and then also what is love Indonesia and why should we love Indonesia. Maybe for Miss Puji, she has her own definition about love, and also Mr. Sunshine, he has his own definition about love. So for me, actually, that love is about that when we accept the bad, the good and the bad thing in let's say for human, like in other people. So that is why maybe for Indonesia is a country when we accept the bad and the good thing in this country. So we say that maybe for me, I will call it love. Maybe I have a same opinion with Mr. Sunshine, or maybe we how to say, it's not like I hate this country, but it's just like sometimes like I can't accept the bad things that happen. Okay, so just, of course, when we talk about Indonesian, we're not only talking about the land. We're also talking about the people. We're also talking about the government. We're also talking about the culture, right? So what the country made from. So that is why, because sometimes I still can't accept the bad how to say, the bad aspect from that happened in our country. So that is why. But maybe for the land that of course, because I was born here, and then like Miss Puji said that we were born here, and then we are, how to say that, we live in this country, so we should be grateful. So we should be how to say, give something to this country, because this country is already provide the land, the place for us to live in. Okay, but yeah, maybe for some people, like Mr. Balin said also, there is no force. If something is forced, or like, I don't think we can call it love. And also love for me also is an option, not obligation. So that is why that about the, how to say that, the fact about that, do we love Indonesian or not, and then do we give something to Indonesian or not, is a totally different thing. Like when I decided to how to say, to do something to this country, actually it's not because I love this country, maybe because I pity this country. It's not about love for me. Okay, and then that, like, I need to do something, so that maybe I need to do something so that later I can love this country. So that is why, maybe that's all for me. Maybe, yeah, a lot of people still can't define what love is. So that is why we have a lot of different opinion about that. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, that's good point from Mrs. Suci. She has also emphasized that love Indonesia is option, not obligation. Okay, Tommy Wisudawan raised the hand. Okay, let me listen. Time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rizal. I'm interesting to hear a discussion from Mr. Sansan and Miss Puji, right? And apologize, I am come late. I want to give my opinion regarding the love Indonesia. Before I give my opinion, maybe probably every single person in here will have the different imagination about love. Someone will have assumption love is must be take and give, but others will have the love is must be give and take, because that's different, different approaching. If you have the assumption love, if you have an opinion about love must be take and give or give and take, you must giving first, then you will have you get something, or you must get something first, then you will take you will get something, and then you will giving to someone or something. So I think that is depend what you believe about love. So Tutu, I'm an old man, yeah, Mr. Rizal. My opinion is love is always about the what we are believe, because if we believe that can make our life become happy, or if it can be make our family more be happy, we are have the situation or condition that make our life more good every day. I think that's kind of love. Yeah, love is not always about the take and give. Sometimes love is always take and take, and sometimes love is always a give and give. Yeah, maybe give and give is, you can say, about the sacrifice. Yeah, sacrifice. Eventually, I am not really agree about the sacrifice, yeah, because okay, so in my opinion, loving Indonesia is yeah, you can assume Indonesia giving you much about the freedom, about the land, about the infrastructure. So, but sometimes you can assume, yeah, this infrastructure built from my tax, no problem for me. While you can respect each other, then you are not an oknum, yeah, like Mr. Albar mentioned it in chat, yeah, and you can define your loving for Indonesia. So I think love is always about what you will. Love is always about the how you can determine yourself to give you what the best have you do, what the best that you do to someone, something that you love. And in my opinion, I believe that's why I should love Indonesia, because my what we call, yeah, my founding father already sacrificed their life to make Indonesia is a big country like now. Yeah, I cannot imagine if we are still as what we call, yeah, negara terjajah in English, yeah. So that's why, in my opinion, that's why I must be love Indonesia, because my founding father do that. So I not necessary to make a war like them. I not necessary to become a hungry people as a victim from the penjajahan, what we call penjajahan in English.
Colonization.
Colonized country, ya, negara terjajah. So I can live with happy. I can live. I can wake up in good every morning. I can take my. I can get the good education in this country. So due to our founding father giving their effort to make freedom, to get the freedom from the colonized. So that's why I should love this country. That's my opinion, Mr. Rizal.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tommy. That's good opinion as well. Um, you saying that love Indonesia is not obligation as well, but for you, you should have to love Indonesia because our founding fathers sacrificed a lot, sacrificed their life, and you have to be in line with the founding father, right? Wait, is there any other argumentation? Okay, Mr. Berlin, you wanna talk?
No, no, no.
Okay, okay, okay. I think it's enough for the all the argumentation concerning what is love Indonesia and why we love Indonesia. Okay, the next slide. I pick up this argumentation from Ahmad Daniel. He is lecture from UIN Jakarta. Youth must instill a sense of pride and love for the country by having an awareness that Indonesia is a large and rich nation, both in terms of natural resource and geography. After the love for the nation emerged, the attitude of defending the country will appear by itself. So love Indonesia from point of view of Ahmad Daniel is obligation because the Indonesia is large and rich nation, but and also it's obligation as well uh, because after we love the nation emerge, the attitude of the defending the country will appear by itself, and we know that to defend the country is our obligation, right? Okay. I put as well the Article 27, Section 3, Indonesian Constitution. Every citizen shall be entitled and be obliged to participate in effort to defend the state. So, obligation to participate effort to defend the state is obligation for the every citizen in Indonesia. But if you take a look at entitled term, it's also ambiguous because it's like it is right or not, it is obligation or right, but it depends on your interpretation. Okay, and this is after we discuss of why we have to love Indonesia. I wanna ask again, what is effort to defend the state for you all? Do you guys have opinion about this? And if I'm not wrong, is Indonesian term bela negara. Bela negara. What do you think, guys? What is effort to defend the state? Okay, Mr. Berlin.
Yes, thank you for this time. Anyway, I find honestly, I find a grammatical mistake here, but I don't know which one is true. Which one that you want to ask to us? Is it an effort or many efforts? Since you have efforts and plus s, it means that we need to answer many efforts. So not what is efforts, but what are efforts? Which one do you refers to? Thank you.
I think what are efforts to defend the state? Thank you for your um, examiner to this sentence. Yes, what are efforts to defend the state? Mr. Berlin, you want to talk again?
Oh yeah, thank you for this what answer for my question. Well, I suppose that because of this question, I need to answer at least two answers. Oh my God, it's
No
quite hard.
problem.
Yeah, because you said that what are efforts, so at least we need to answer two types of answers. The first is we pay the tax on time. That is the way, the first way that we can do in defending the state, since the state need income from the tax, so we can pay it to them. Secondly, for defending this nation, we can give the deterrence effect for strengthening this nation. Seems like what is the deterrence effect? It's the effects that makes other nation feel afraid of our country. Seems like we can develop the technology, or maybe make the military system that is better than the any nation in the what in these regions. So it will make the other nation afraid to us. So making the deterrence effects in technology is the other way to defend this nation. Seems like we learn more deeply and specialized our mind and our think more developed and more advanced than the other nation. We make the well innovation, so it will make a good deterrence effects in the face of the other nation, so that when they want when the other nation want to give what seems like a fool to us, we can trick them. So we can do both of those actions for defending our nation quite well, besides the military action, because I don't want to die for this nation easily. Thank you.
Mr. Berlin, I want to clarify. What do you think if we love our product, our culture? Is this part of effort to defend the state?
I suppose that I will not use the terminology of love. Seems like that I said in the previous speaking time. You know that love is complicated terminology, and I tend to not using that terminology anymore. I need to use the more specified actions. What is love for our product? What is that? Must we buy must we prioritizing for buying
prioritize
our
our
national
product.
product than the other products? Is that love? Oh my, please. We can do that if we can make a well innovation and make our product more cheaper and in the good quality more than the other products. But is it real in our recent time? We need technology and innovation more better again to do that. So before we love our product, we need to make our product well and competitive firstly in the face of the customer, because customer is not quite easy to be what seems like what meyakinkan. Sorry. How to say meyakinkan in English? Yeah, how to make them believe that our product is better than the other products. We need the innovation firstly, and something that I said before, we need a deterrence effect in the economy, so we will make our nation more stabilized and we can defend our nation by it. Thank you.
Okay, good answer. And Mr. Tommy, you wanna talk?
Yeah. I'm interesting from what Mr. Berlin said. Yeah.
Yeah.
He always said love is always love is always complicated, right? I have a different opinion about the effort. I think this is easy to defend the state. Yeah, don't thinking too much about how to defend the state. Just do it. Yeah, if you are believe you are an Indonesian, if you are believe you have the Indonesian card, KTP. Yeah, I think that's the example from the you already have the defending this state. Yeah, so while you're going abroad and then in the immigration you said, where are you come from, mister? I'm from Indonesia. That is the I think this is a part of defending this state. That's just the small things that I know. In the more bigger, I think, yeah, maybe Mr. Rizal already said about how to use our product from our nation, for our country is some kinds of example, yeah, some kinds of defend the state. But in my opinion, I think defend the state is not hard to embed in every its people, because I believe if you have the same enemy, if you have feeling in the same critical condition, if you have the same crisis, I think you have to prevent your country. I believe that, because we already have many examples from our nation to sample from our people in Indonesia have the nationality feeling. Yeah, so I think that's not too hard to implement the defend the state. Eventually, if the government have the program, yeah, to make sure what our people have the same perspective regarding the defending the state. As I know, Mr. Suharto, the second president from Indonesia, have the P4 ya, program apa itu, Pancasila ya. I don't know how to say in English ya. I think that's just the ikhtiar ya. Is it ikhtiar in English ya?
Effort as well.
Yeah, similar with effort, right? That's his effort to embed, to enhance our perspective, to enhance our ability to defending our nation. Maybe in the future, I think we have the creative program to ensure all people in Indonesia have the same vision to defend the state. That's my opinion, Mr. Risa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tommy. But before you go, I wanna ask about your previous statement. You make it easy that effort to defend the state basically is easy for everyone or every single citizen. Do you have if the, and you also mentioned that we just use our product and so on and so on, and so we know that a lot of our product, Indonesian product, basically is not good enough to be same as the foreign product. So it is problem for you or not?
No, I don't think so. Just if you use the foreign product, if you use the another country product, I believe you still give the government impact, right? Yeah, because they will charge you from
True.
tax. No problem, no problem. Just choose the right one for you, I think.
Okay, that's good to answer. Um, Ahmad Albar, you wanna talk?
Hello.
Okay, yeah. Time
Okay,
is
can you
yours.
hear me?
Clearly.
Okay, thank you. About the efforts to defend our state, to defend our country, for me, can be done in a lot of parts. I mean, we can do it perhaps through the education, uh, political diplomacy, or economic. For example, as a dwellers, we can follow the rules that have been made by our government. It is a part of effort that we can do as a dwellers. And for example, for another example, a farmer, I mean, a farmer can do hard work to increase his production, and it's a part to defend our country through the food security. And also the other example, a teacher struggle to teach the children. It is a real effort that they can do to defend our country through the education. So we can do it to defend our country. We can do it in a lot of parts. It's depend on ourselves. Even for the some simple things like just follow the rules, it's a part of effort that we can do to defend our state. I think it's enough for me.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad Albar. Um, you mentioned so detail for me. Um, follow and obey the all rules and all obligation in Indonesia is part of effort to defend our state. That's good point. Any others opinion? Okay, is it enough here? Okay. Um. Okay. No one will discuss it again. So um I slash the slide. Okay. Ah, this is opinion from Agus with Jojo, Governor Om Lemhanas. The form of effort to defend the state is readiness to be good citizen, comply with all law and regulation, and play a role in supervising in the case of irregularities. In this argument, we know that it's like the previous statement from another our friend. Comply with the all law and regulation is part of effort to defend the state. So that here it is it's also hard play a role in supervising in case of irregularity. I think this is the hard um obligation to us um to fulfill the effort to defend the state, because we know that sometimes irregularities it's it's like common with us. um it's like we our governor make a word regulation, and we also silent with it, and we don't have any effort to change it. It's it's also make us like silent with the irregularities. Therefore, to play a role in supervising in case of regularities is the hard part of this effort. But I think we have to fulfill this part as well. Okay. We know that basically our foundation of state is come from this Pancasila and Undang-Undang Dasar. Pancasila we know have 5 value, and Undang-Undang Dasar we also know if we having having agenda in Monday, in morning Monday, we always see the opening of Undang-Undang Dasar, right? But what do you think? What I as as a common thinker, do you prefer Pancasila or Constitution 1945? Is the highest hierarchy in our regulation. What do you think? Do you prefer Pancasila or Constitution 1945 is the higher hierarchy in our constitution, in our regulation? What do you think, guys? Okay, Miss Puji Wahyu Setiawati. Okay, time is yours.
Mister, before I answer your questions, I have questions for you.
Okay, no problem.
Why we must be choose one of them?
Because when the basic idea of rule or regulation is have to not contradict with the higher level or higher level of regulation. So if sometimes let's say Undang-Undang Dasar, you choose Undang-Undang Dasar, therefore Pancasila have to do not contradict with Undang-Undang Dasar, and we choose you choose let's Pancasila is the higher level than Undang-Undang Dasar, you have to apply with the Pancasila. But as law student, it's a various argumentation about this. But I want to know your opinion about which one the higher regulation in the our which do you prefer, which one the higher regulation from between Pancasila and Undang-Undang Dasar? Okay, is it answer your question?
It means I should choose one of them.
Yeah. And okay.
If I'm not my mistake, Mister, if I'm not my mistake, when I was in elementary school or junior high school, I have read a Pancasila is something that was born before Undang-Undang Dasar, because Undang-Undang Dasar it's like a descriptions of Pancasila. Pancasila or moral value in Pancasila before Pancasila formed in Pancasila, it has been exist in Indonesian people far away before you know what is Pancasila. It's like intrinsic or internal values that people in around Indonesians believe that and they are apply it in their life like that, based on my opinion. But if you were asked me to choose which one most I like, both of them, I didn't know how to choose which one most I like, but I know the first thing that, or the oldest, is it Pancasila. It's not Undang-Undang Dasar, because Undang-Undang Dasar it's only like a descriptions just to explain more detail about the Pancasila, because Pancasila is exists before you know what is Pancasila. Thank you.
Okay, that's good answer. It is alike. I, Pancasila exists before Undang-Undang Dasar, but um, if the Pancasila is the higher level than Undang-Undang Dasar, we cannot change Pancasila. We cannot change Pancasila. But we know that from BPIP that Pancasila is changeable. It can be Trisila and can be Ekasila. So that's our reality. So what do you think that if Pancasila can change? So is it, do you still agree that Pancasila is higher than Undang-Undang Dasar?
Yeah, Mister. Because even if it's be three sila or two sila, I believe it contained of 5 values here. Even if it's only, even if our government only make 2 point of two sila or 3 sila, but I believe it will be contained 5 sila that we are now today. Thank you.
Okay, that's good answer. Mr. Berlin, you wanna talk?
Thank you. Sorry that I'm using the name of city outside of Indonesia. Yes.
No problem.
Quite a silly question for me, since it's not quite match with the question that you said before. When you said that which one is quite suitable for our regulation, it's quite clear. It's gonna be constitution, because regulation, you don't ask about the philosophy of this nation. Philosophy of this nation and regulation of this nation are two parts of the different things. That's the first statement that I want to say. Secondly, about the Pancasila. Pancasila is the philosophy of our nation. Which one is what is Pancasila itself? It's gonna be a long historical answer to say it. But to make it short, Pancasila is not something created. It's founded by our founding fathers. It's the crown law said by the Mr. Sukarno since a long time ago. Crown law is like the base of this nation, about the base of the way of thinking of the people of the Indonesian. Those are Pancasila. Even we know that when Sukarno is questioned by a few of the journalists, what makes Pancasila more how to make it more compressed. Sukarno said there is 3 sila. How to make it more compressed again from the 3 sila? Sukarno said Ekasila, that is Gotong Royong. But I will not discuss about them. But when we want to answer this question by the terminology, which one is the regulation basement, I can say that 1945 is the based our regulation. 1945 Constitution is the base of our regulation, because when we want to say that something philosophical, it's quite hard to be implemented, my friend. It's so far away from the implementation, because how to interpret the Pancasila itself? it's the Constitution 1945. That is the base of the interpretation, the first interpretation from the Pancasila. And I want to set something in organization, in many organization in my campus, particularly from the I even I ever discussed with the scholar that said that when you want to change an organization, I said organization, yeah, it's quite wide, not only a state. Uh, when you want to change an organization, you don't need to change the philosophical of that organization. You just need to change the preamble or the opening from the what the main constitution that exists. We said that anggaran dasar of that organization. So because of that, in the constitutional level, we will not change, we will not do any amendment in the preamble anymore. So we will see the even the words itself that is not changed anymore because that is the base of our nation, and when that is changed, the meaning will be different. Because in the preamble, we will see about the vision, about the mission, about the meaning, why we want to establish this nation that is exists in the Constitution 1945, and that is the interpretation, the main interpretation of what is Pancasila. So when I want to answer your question, which one is preferred to be the base of the regulation, I can say that Constitution 1945 because it's more applicable rather than the philosophical idea from, and that's quite hard. And there are many disputes that will exist when we directly interpret from the what Pancasila to be regulation. It must be what flow with the Constitution 1945. And thank you for this long time and sorry.
Mr. Berlin, yeah, it seems like I hear from the law student as well. Yeah, you know, to interpret regulation is contradict with Pancasila is so difficult because Pancasila is philosophical values, and when we make comparison law with the Undang-Undang Azhar, it's quite easy because Undang-Undang Azhar is also provide clear regulation and not ambiguous, because it's ground weight is part of regulation as well. But um, you saying that Pancasila Pancasila is philosophical, but if we take in top on our regulation, basically it's it's also allowed by the theoretical. Let's see this slide. Is debate from Hans Carlson and Hans Nowacki. Hans Carlson said the higher level of regulation is pronom of source of legitimacy or power to form law from the action of the first legislator. Therefore, it's like the argumentation from Mr. Berlin. It's like our constitution is source of legitimacy to make act, to make law or undang-undang. Therefore, we have to put the constitution to top of the regulation. But in other hand, Hans Nowacki also give the contrary argumentation. The higher law is that fundamental norm, the norm that forms the basis for the formation of constitution. So then we know that Pancasila is the norm that forms the basis for the formation of constitution. Therefore, from Hans Nowacki point of view, Pancasila have to put higher than our constitution. But it is the debate. and our reality in Indonesia use constitution as the higher or highest regulation to make comparison with the other law, and do not use Pancasila. But Pancasila basically include to the our constitution. Okay, the next slide. As I said before, based on law number 12 of 2011, Constitution of the Republic Indonesia is higher, the highest regulation in our regulation. The bottom of that is sub MPR or Decree of People Consultative Assembly, and the law itself or Perpu, and the government regulation, and then president regulation, and the last one and Perda or regional regulation. Okay, this is also my question. Pancasila is the foundation of the country. Do you agree with that? Anybody's wanna talk? Okay, Tommy Wisudawan. Okay, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rizal. This is a fascinating topic, I think, tonight, right? Okay. I'm trying to find the why Mr. Rizal asking about the differentiation and how to put the which one the higher constitution, Pancasila or UUD 45 ya.
Yeah.
So I'm found it in Google. That's if you see the PPIP, PPIP, as Mr. Rizal mentioned it, I think he already mentioned it before. Then with the addition explanation from Mr. Pelin, I have the clear explanation about this question. So for this discussion about the Pancasila is the foundation of the country, I agree with this statement because foundation must be fixed. Yeah, it must be static. It cannot be changeable. So I think this is terrible for our country if a foundation is always changed. Yeah, in the regulation, and as I know, we can change the UUD 45 ya, the Undang-Undang Dasar ya, basic regulation. We can to change if we have the approval from the MPR, right? So I agree about this statement. And Tutu, Pancasila is a foundation. That's why I believe Pancasila is our philosophy. So every regulation that makes in that determine and makes in our country must be following this Pancasila, must be following the spirit from Pancasila. And as a foundation, I think you have not to detail about that. So just put the symbol and the short explanation about the symbol. For example, a star in the center of that symbol it means ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, right? I'm worried I make a mistake about the Pancasila because this even recording, right? And Mr. Sansen will be uploaded to YouTube. So this is the foundation. I think, yeah, Pancasila is the basic foundation, basic idea basic philosophy from our country. Thank you, Mr. Rizal.
Okay.
I agree.
Mr. Tommy, can I ask you?
Yes.
I have been discussed with the some feminists that Pancasila is weaknesses. Pancasila have weaknesses. It's Pancasila is only tend to human and do not tend to our environment. Therefore, we have to change Pancasila to add some symbols or whatever it is, and it make our environment become better, and because if we put or add some value to the Pancasila, which is tend to develop our environment. It's make constitution and the other regulation are tend also to our environment. So do you think that Pancasila can is changeable?
No.
No.
Must be avoid to have the mind to change the Pancasila, right? Is this the foundation? Yeah. Even though the symbol, yeah, I think, yeah, too many problems that must be solved for us. Yeah, why we why we talking much about the change the symbol? Yeah. So just focusing about the solve the other problem to improve our nation, to make our nation be what we call negara maju. What we call negara maju. That's my opinion, Mr. Yeah. Don't think. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So don't thinking too much to change the symbol, right?
Okay. That's good answer. Mr. Sansan, wanna talk?
Yeah, if you allow me, I will talk.
Okay, time is yours, Mr. Sansan.
Okay, so yeah, I guess this statement kind of reminds me of how I'm being treated right now, because if I disagree with this, would I be caged and caught by some officers or some police due to my disagreement with this question? Because it has been so crystal clear that Pancasila is the foundation. Disagreeing to this means that rebelling to the fundamental foundations of our country. Okay, and this statement also triggers me thinking about just coming from the discussions that a little bit more casual into Pancasila class that I ever had back then in my major, in my bachelor study. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about civic right now. Okay, to comment about this, I do agree with what has been said by Mr. Tommy. So if we try to correlate it with IELTS perspective, means that the foundation need to be that general so that it can be relevant toward any specific that might change over time. Okay, so the flexibility will cover almost abundant informations and also colors possessed and influenced by some parts of tradition, culture, known technologies, advancement, and so on that happen in country. So I can say it's like a main topic, Pancasila is main topic, while OO or any other regulations will become like supporting sentence, the action, the policies that have been done by the government into and for the sake of society would be supporting details, and there would be us as the spectators or as the subject of these implemented policies becoming someone to conclude, wrap up, and also giving such contributive feedback toward our MPR. Okay. Yeah, so I do agree with that. But probably if we want to amend, okay, because amend Pancasila means that in the future there would be times that some people in the next generations would consider that Pancasila is changeable, that Pancasila is not relevant. Okay, but at the same time, I will also think that can we similarize this with some some basic books of religious believers. For example, it's like Quran. Okay, since it is transcendental coming from the God, for example, yeah, we will be that reluctant to change any part of it. But can we similarize Pancasila and the God? I mean, like stated, the first is coming from God. Okay, so is that even exists some possibilities due to the overwhelming inappropriateness or how to say irrelevancies that might occur in the future. Okay, because we never know exactly just how future will shape new perspective, and those we consider general. I mean, like it can be that contentful enough within our Pancasila, and Pancasila will no longer be able to cover it. Okay, but the point is how better we can grasp, okay, the indicators of Pancasila so that we can further assess, will Pancasila be able to cope with such overwhelming problems related to the senses or values of Pancasila, or should we change? And finally, like what you said before, Mr. Rizal, as feminists said, okay, we need to change due to the feedback given, okay, or can we still relate it to some values, some points hidden beneath Pancasila itself? Okay, so I suppose something that you need to explain more in regard to feminism perspective is that do they, like feminists, truly believe that they fully grasped, okay, the essential points and practicability points of Pancasila within society, so that they are that eager to replace any parts of Pancasila? Okay, I'm sorry. It has been quite nice, but we talk something serious about this. Okay, but yeah, that's from me. Thank you.
Mr. Sunshine, if Pancasila is change it changed to Ekasila or Trisila, do you still agree that Pancasila is foundation of our country?
Okay, Pancasila will be, is like no longer Pancasila, no longer five,
Yeah.
or it might be five, but the contention might change. Okay, and the
Both
question
of them.
on that,
Both of
okay,
them.
huh?
Both
Both
of
of
them.
them, yeah. Okay, yeah. Amendment done toward Pancasila means there are two possibilities, like you said before, right? Okay, and the question is, will I be able to agree? Do I need to relate this to how strong my love toward this nation? If we revert to that, then I will be that pathetically ignorant. Okay, I will be like more into self-centered person. As long I'm sorry, I'm not that nationalist. By the way, as long as the government or this nation give me some opportunities that I believe can give me at least some occasions to contribute back to our nations, then I will do that. Okay, I will be more realistic person or opportunist one. So I suppose, yeah, when someone would like to change Pancasila, I will consider what kind of benefits that they will bring for me. The mandament will change my life. Okay, and only after understanding that and knowing fully about the typical amendments that have been imposed or enacted, I will consider whether I should agree with that or not. Okay, I think that's from me. Thank you.
That's the wise argumentation, I think. Um, okay, okay. The another one, Mr. Ku, isn't it?
Right. Thank you,
Okay,
Sir.
take the
Rizal.
floor, please.
Right. Yeah. I reckon that Pancasila has been exceeded by many people as a foundation. Okay. As a foundation from Indonesia means is Pancasila changeable? Yeah. There are many sides or many terms of it or many cases that someone wants to change the name of organization, the name of the nations, the name of community, means they have the philosophy, not only how to say considering the philosophy, but also the values that will be obtained by their changing. Means oh my god, here it's raining. I'm sure that my voice not very clear. Yeah, at least when we want to change the foundation of the country or organization and so on, there are many considerations about it because we have now that Pancasila has been recognized or about debate about enactment and so on. But do you ever think that what is the difference between negeri and negara? Yeah, for me that I got it some sources about both. That negeri it tends to the natural resource and also the good values. But negara means the government. It means someone who has selfishness to change the name of something for fulfilling their selfishness. They are negarawan or government. Thank you.
That's good point. I think. You saying that yes, you agree that the Pancasila is foundation of the country, and then um, Panca, uh, you also differentiate between negeri and negara. That's also right. If I'm not wrong, negara means state, right? But my question is country. That's good point. Mr. Berlin.
Yes,
Okay, time
thank
is
you.
yours.
Uh, Firstly, what do you mean about foundation in this discussion? Is it about the money that given by the Pancasila for us to establish this country, or the other meaning? That is the first thing that I see. But I prefer that maybe we will agree that something that appears from the Pancasila is not given. I mean, Pancasila is not giving us. We give Pancasila because in the first place, our founding fathers finding Pancasila firstly. Not they are creating Pancasila. No. They are not creating Pancasila, but they find what is the main value of the Indonesian citizen at that time. And because changing people is hard, changing people is hard in the term of their philosophical of life, in their terms of the way of they do their life to be good, what is good or bad in their philosophical perspective, and that is concluded by Pancasila in the first time. So Pancasila is the way of thinking of our citizens, and that is not questioned again. Even we see that maybe some people said that Pancasila is too humanly and it's not seeing about any natural perspective. Hello, when we want to survive, I mean, when we want to conserve our nature, it's this for the sake of our people too, at least for our descendant maybe. it's it's still anthropology perspective, because of this consideration. Pancasila is the way of thinking from our citizen, and since it's the way of thinking from our citizen, is it possible to us to change it? Oh, please, when we want to change Pancasila, please keep in mind that Pancasila is mentioned in the in the preamble of our constitution. And when the preamble of our constitution is changed, it will change our nation too. Maybe the vision and the mission of this nation will be changed to the other perspective. So I'm not quite agree, but we can do that if maybe Mr. Rizal being one of the influence member of our parliament, and he can make sure he can make the majority of the parliament agree to change our preamble, it will be changed. So don't need to copy the Etat this nation. Just being an influence member in our parliament, it's gonna be happen, but it will change our nation too in philosophical way. But do we really brave enough to change it? That's the other problem. Do we really brave enough to change this peacefully nation, this well nation to the other way of perspective? Do we really brave to do that? It's the other question for the person that want to change our Kronlah, our Pancasila. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask you, Mr. Berlin? Um, in the first create okay. In the first founded Pancasila, Pancasila is still Pancasila 5, but the first sila it's sent to the Muslim, and then Pancasila is changed to the Pancasila right now. So if someone asks to you and you say Pancasila is changeable because the first time that Pancasila founded, it changed to the Pancasila right now. What's your response about that?
In the first place, actually, our first verse of our Pancasila, the first is Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, right?
Yeah.
That is actually post at the last in the historical establishment of the Pancasila. When you see the book of the I'm forgot about the book about the what history of the establishment, or not establishment, but the finding of the Pancasila. That verse actually at the end of the Pancasila, because it considered as the conclusion of the Pancasila. That is the philosophical terms. But at the end of the discussion in the discussion of our PPKI, in the end of the PPKI discussion, they see that what the Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa is quite suitable when we place it on the first verse of Pancasila. And is it about more to seeing about the Muslim perspective or not? Please, we need to see when the assemble of the PPKI, there are many kind of people from the Muslim, from the Christian, from the Hinduism, Buddhism, and the other beliefs. They discuss about it, which one is more suitable. We know that the first verse that established by the Panitia 9, how to say Panitia? No, please don't say that.
Committee.
Yeah, Panitia 9, they established about the Piagam Jakarta and Piagam Charter, and we said that mengikuti sesuai dengan syariah Islam, blah blah blah. I'm slightly forgot about that because that is not a part of Pancasila in this recent time. But at the end of the discussion in the PPKI, that's changed to be Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa. I mean, that's discussed and agreed by many kind of culture of people. I mean, not culture, a belief of the people at that time, and we agree about it. So Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa is the final terms to see that Indonesia citizen seeing about the God is one. Thank you.
Okay, I got the point. Yeah, it's also true that um, I, Mr. Berlin said Pancasila is final. I also agree. But Piagam Jakarta it also exists. And yeah, if I'm not wrong, Piagam Jakarta still mentioned in Pancasila, but it totally changed in recent time. Okay, that's good point. Miss Puji wanna talk?
Yeah, I really agree, and I wanna say thank you for Mr. Berlin. I wanna tell you, Sir Sir Rizal. Oh no, yeah, Sir. Is it my opinion? That simple opinion for me. Even if Pancasila and Piagam Jakarta for the first one is changed, be Pancasila in the first point. Even if the word is changing, but the main point of the sentence is same. It's talking about God. Just it. So no one changing there. Only the sentences that change, and the main point it's not changing. It's based on my opinion.
Oh, okay, that's good point as well. Mr. Puji, um, it's literally
Miss,
say
I'm not Mr.
Miss Puji. The first sila is mean or talking about God and also one God. Therefore, it's basically there is no change. There is no thing that changed from Pancasila. So, Mr. Berlin, you wanna talk again?
Yes. I don't agree with the term with the statement from the Miss Puji. Since yes, I know that the main point, the first verse of the Piagam Jakarta meant about the God. Yes, I know about it, but uh, we need to see about the philosophical way, because something that is quite debatable and give a huge and hot potato, not hot potato, a hot debate maybe at the time about the terms of Sharia in the Piagam Jakarta. Because how to interpret the Sharia, terminology of Sharia, it's gonna be hard to be interpreted in our constitution. So because of this consideration, the PPKI members seeing it to change it to be ketuhanan yang Maha Esa. Why? Because it's more general rather than the previous verse in the Piagam Jakarta, because there is the terminology of the Sharia in it. So because of this consideration, I'm not quite agree. Even I know that the meaning, maybe the meaning or maybe the one and the aim is same, but the interpretation of the people after them will be different and will make a huge dispute, and maybe our unity of our nation at the stake because we keep the terminology of the Sharia until this time. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Rizal. Yeah, for reminding, we still have 3 minutes left. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Indri. Okay, let's to the next slide. Because if we still in here a lot of discussion, I think. Okay. Rainbow. Okay. What's our constitution identity? Basically, we have been discussed it before. our constitution identity basically like preamble, like Pancasila is part of constitution identity. But I wanna add some information here. Uh, 1945 constitution identity classification. This is based on Journal National Identity Review of the 1945 Constitution and Law Number 24 2009. The Constitution identity classification is are the first one for fundamental identity, and the second one instrumental identity, and the last one in natural identity. It's therefore basically constitution have a huge scale, not only instrumental that we have known, separation of power of president and our symbol like merah putih, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, but also Pancasila basically cover the natural identity of Indonesia as well. This is um, um, this is the question as well. Should we define our constitutional identity? But before I ask this to you, I want to show this. Some controversial Indonesian culture. Tradisi nguyau suku Dayak berburu dan penggal kepala musuh. Panggang api untuk ibu dan bayi. Carok culture and tradition to cut off finger. Okay, let's take the question. Should we define our constitutional identity? Okay. Do you have argumentation about this, guys? We know that we have a lot of culture, and culture is part of constitutional identity. But when we know that this a controversial culture in Indonesia, do you still want to defend our constitutional identity? On you have other argumentation? Maybe Mr. Berlin, do you have idea about this?
Please don't give it to me again because I much opinion here because I know that this community is founded for practicing in English and talk too much here. But as I said before, yeah, there is a way to change it. There is a way to change it. But should we define it or not? It will be dependent on the situation, firstly, because which one is more suitable in the future? I don't know. Will our constitutional identity in this recent time will be quiet? What suitable to make a welfare of our nation peacefully happen or not? Because I don't know about something that will be happen in the future. So should we define it or not? It's gonna be dependent on the situation. It's gonna be dependent on the situation. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. So you're saying that basically it's depend on the condition. So and then if we know about it, we can take action to defend or not the constitutional identity, right? Any other opinion? Maybe Mr. Tommy Wisudawan, do you have idea about this? After you see that some controversial Indonesian culture, do you still wanna defend our constitutional identity?
Hello, Mr. Rizal.
Okay.
I will keep my opinion to still following the Pancasila, to still believe the Pancasila is our basic foundation, basic foundation for our country. So even though the culture or the culture from maybe some of what we call suku in Indonesia is different with the Pancasila, I think it's no problem, because it's about our Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, right?
Okay.
No problem about this.
If we still defend our constitutional identity, and then you're saying that this culture have to keep it also, right? So do you, it's like you silent with our condition right now. Do you think like that?
No. This is about nobody's perfect, right? So it seems it can be applied also in our country. We have the foundation about the regulation or foundation about the philosophy of our country, but some in the same condition, maybe in some condition, maybe you have the differences culture. I think it's not just little differences. No, not a big deal about that.
Okay. That's good answer as well. Any other opinion maybe? Miss Sopirwa, do you have idea about this? Maybe Mr. Daud? I think it's quite complicated for I think, because in one hand basically we defend our identity, but in other we also realize that some kinds of culture or our identity um, is it's also weaknesses to make Indonesia better and progress. But I think defend our constitutional identity is maybe have to limit it. Do you agree with that, Mr. Sunshine?
Hello, Mr. Rizal.
Okay.
Maybe we can go to the closing
Of course.
conclusion.
Okay. Because I have a lot of slides here, but because the time has been over. So this is the last question maybe. What is the meaning of loving Indonesia between constitutional identity and constitutional pluralism? I wanna put some name to answer this question. and I want to hear the argumentation from Mr. Sunshine. What do you think, Mr. Sunshine? Maybe the another guys, you want to talk about this? No one? I see Miss Sopirwa never participate to argumentation. Mrs. Sopirwa, could you give opinion about this? No? Mr. Ku? Is my voice clearly, Mr. Indri?
Yeah, that's clear. Maybe they have been sleepy.
Okay. If no one wanna if no one can or could argument to this question, therefore I think I have to close to this uh discussion. Okay, thank you guys for this discussion. I'm so sorry if I have a lot of mistake to pronunciate or give fully fully information about our discussion right now. But I think you are so politely and good and hot or discussion before. Therefore, I say thank you, you guys, for having me, and and thanks for Mr. Indri as well to to uh, uh, put me to the media to the speaker, and um, I think I have to say thank you as well to the others who has been participate to discussion. Thank you guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Mr. Rizal, for the nice discussion. Sebelum kita tutup, ya ada sedikit feedback. Oke. Mungkin Mr. Rizal mungkin bisa di apain screen nih? Apa namanya? Di unscreen. Oh, Mr. Rizal mungkin bisa di stop screen dulu. Oke, thank you. Ya, tadi dari diskusi kita menghasilkan banyak vocabulary ya, teman-teman ya. Tadi ada beberapa teman-teman yang terlalu panjang nge-describe sebuah kalimat dalam bahasa Inggris yang padahal kita bisa nge-short term di situ dengan vocabularies yang lebih efektif tentunya di situ. Ya, tadi ada beberapa vocabularies tadi di situ, seperti contohnya ada developed country, negara maju, terus charter, anggaran dasar ya, colonized ya terjajah, terus colonization, nah itu berbeda nih ya, penjajahan. Terus tadi ada deterrent effect, efek jerak, convince, meyakinkan, oknum ya, unscrupulous atau persons, person tuh maknanya juga oknum. Terus juga ada unrequited love, cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan, dan banyak lainnya di situ ya. Sampai tadi ada menyalahgunakan itu abuse. Terus juga tadi ada Pancasila ya dalam bahasa Inggris. Ya contohnya kayak keturunan yang Maha Esa, believe in the one and only God, atau dipersingkat juga ketika Soekarno di PBB dia bilangnya believe to God, itu aja dia bilangnya ya. Jadi nggak usah the only dan bla bla bla. Ya tergantung cara kita memaknakannya, karena bahasa Inggris itu bukan bicara tentang translate, tapi kita nyari meaning ya di situ. Jadi translator di situ tugasnya itu mencari meaning, bukan nge-translate bahasanya gitu, translator itu sebaiknya. Terus just and civilized humanity, terus the unity of Indonesia, terus democracy guided by the inner wisdom in the humanity rising out of deliberations among the representative. Nah sebenarnya kalau di bahasa sekarang dia bilangnya social justice, udah gitu aja. Tapi di sini saya ngambilnya dari Google ya. Nah, terus ada social justice di sini simple nomor 5 poinnya. Terus juga tadi dari Miss siapa ya, saya lupa, Miss siapa tadi lawan Mr. Sunshine?
Puji.
Miss Puji, Miss
Miss
Puji.
Puji. Ya mungkin buat teman-teman yang anak debate mungkin terbiasa ya cara nge-class sebuah statement supaya kita nggak muter-muter nih pakai keywordnya ini nih, atau template-nya pakai ini, even if bla 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 ya, but bla 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 bla. Ini cara nge-class statement dalam debate ya. Mungkin Mr. Sunshine juga mentor debate juga, mungkin paham juga dengan cara nge-class statement. Jadi bisa teman-teman gunakan ya ketika teman-teman disagree dengan statement teman-teman lainnya di dalam debate, bisa menggunakan even if bla bla bla, but nah bla bla bla, cara nge-class statement dalam debate. Terus juga tadi ada kata allowed ya. Jadi allowed ini ketika dia verb 2 atau verb 3, jadi bacanya bukan allowed tapi allowed. Jadi kayak pop sound aja yang kita berikan. Jadi kapan kita baca yang ed dan kapan nggak kita baca ed-nya tergantung huruf sebelumnya. Contohnya kayak subjugate. Nah, ini bacanya bukan subjugated. Bukan subjugate, tapi subjugated karena di belakangnya ada T. Terus kalau ini recommended ya, karena di belakangnya ada D. Belum ed-nya ya. Tapi kalau ini contohnya look. Nah, ini bacanya bukan look at, tapi look. Pop sound aja. Sama kasusnya sama allowed, ini bacanya allow. Ini bacanya look. Jadi ed-nya itu dibaca ketika sebelum dari ed-nya itu ada D atau T. Nah, itu ed-nya dibaca. Jadi ini bacanya subjugated, ini bacanya recommended ya. Nah, jadi ketika di belakangnya T dan D, ed-nya dibaca. Tapi ketika di belakang ed-nya itu selain T dan D, kita hanya membaca pop sound-nya. Contohnya look atau allowed. Nah, terus ada poop ya, dan lain sebagainya. Ya, mungkin itu aja buat hari ini ya. Thank you so much guys for coming. Terima kasih Mr. Rizal udah ngajak kita diskusi dengan topik yang menarik di situ tentang kecintaan untuk Indonesia. Itu aja buat hari ini. Sebelumnya kita foto dulu ya. Kita foto dulu, mungkin teman-teman bisa ngidupin kameranya. Ntar bakal saya kirim ke grup ya. Output dari feedback diskusi kita pada hari ini, dan beberapa pocket-pocket yang tadi nggak saya sebutin semuanya karena terlalu banyak. Oke, yuk kita hidupin kameranya. Ini gimana ya? Oke, I'll view ya. Oke, that is. Oke, 1, 2, Slide 1. Oke, Mr. Aldo mungkin, Mr. Daud atau dan juga Miss Sophie mungkin kalau bisa ngereditin. Oke, lagi slide 2, slide 3. Oke, well, thank you so much and see you next week, guys. Hello, Otter. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yes, yes, tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay, see ya. Thank you.
Bye bye, bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
You.